Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back to this Jesse. We're getting started right at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right on the dot as usual. Just like the old days when we were live streaming every day, the stock market was open for 1 year. That was my commitment. And here we are getting things rolling again. And we'll see. I'm thinking maybe we go for a full year again, but we'll find out. We'll see. We're just going to take it live stream by live stream for now and get it going. So help me with the algorithms. Smash a like, repost, and throw in a quick emoji or a comment, something to get the algorithms triggered and keep things flowing for us over here. So I appreciate that. First half of the live stream, we will cover Bitcoin, altcoins, stocks, and anything else that jumps out at us on the watch list. Along with the second half of the live stream, we will cover your chart requests. So comment your chart requests and make sure to put in the ticker symbol and let me know exactly what asset class it is and the name of it, all that stuff. Put in all the details because sometimes the ticker symbol may have a crypto ticker symbol and a stock ticker symbol, et cetera. So just to save time on me searching for the asset, just make sure to put in all the details. It'll help out. If I'm uncertain, I may not actually chart it for you. And also, we like to see a lot of chart history. So if it's a brand new meme coin, I'm not going to be able to add any value over there. So sorry. Good morning. Afternoon. Morning. Yeah, it's only 9 a.m. here. So what time is it where you're at? So we'll get things rolling on this glorious Taco Tuesday. And Bitcoin, altcoins, stocks are all bouncing right now. And it's good to see. It's good to see things are still on track. It's good to see that, there are bounces along the way, as I've talked about several times. But let's get into what we've been talking about, what we've been covering is on the higher time frames, Bitcoin remains bearish on indicators, right? And eventually price catches up. I just posted in the Discord, talking about this in more detail. And so talking about the weekly chart and stuff like that. And probably post some more stuff in there today. But right now, here's what we're looking at is the RSI sell signal happened in September. And a lot of times on these higher time frames, you'll see a sell signal and then price jumps up first, but never puts in a buy signal on the RSI, right? On this buy signal, this is a weekly chart, so it's going to look like it's kind of late to the party. Obviously, I don't swing trade based off of, the buy and sell signals on the weekly. What I'm looking at is the overall trend direction, right? So if I'm trading on the daily chart, I want to be trading with the trend. So the trend in this case is starting to trend downward on the weekly chart. As you can see, the sell signal, there's a MACD bearish crossover, a lower high, even though there's a higher high on the MACD. So, which is creating bearish divergence. So you can see this is bearish divergence. This is bearish divergence all the way back here, long-term divergence. RSI is making lower highs on the weekly while price making higher highs on the weekly. Once there's a lower high on price, that will be the higher probability of, a longer term correction, right? But even so, these last couple sell signals, there was still a 30, even on the local top with the RSI sell signal on the weekly chart, there was still a 32% correction. There was still a 31% correction. So even if this RSI sell signal produces just another local top, then you can see prices come down and hit target 4, which is what we've been talking about for almost a week and a half now on the live streams, going down to target 4, and that would put price, around that 95 to 93,000. So several reasons why it could do that, and it's still trending downward on the indicators are still trending downward on the weekly. The 2-week chart, there's no RSI sell signal on the 2-week chart yet. There was a MACD bearish crossover on the 2-week chart. Something to keep in mind. There was one over here as well, and then flip back around, crossed over. It's very slow. So the more times it crosses over, the less likely we're going to see $200,000 Bitcoin by the end of October, right? It's just playing the probabilities. So the higher time frames are rolling over. It takes time. There's divergence. Even on the 2-week chart, you can see RSI is going lower, price going higher, and then the MACD putting in a lower high, crossing back over again on the 2-week chart. So that's why, could it flip back over again? Sure, it could, just like it did here, but the probabilities are becoming lower and lower, right? Becoming lower and lower. And on the weekly chart, it's not how the candle starts, but how it closes. We're only in day 2 of the weekly candle. Could create a wick and then close lower. So we'll see how it plays out. Or the next candle closes lower, but not seeing any crossing back over on the RSI weekly or the MACD or anything like that. So that's what we'll continue to watch. Daily chart, bouncing. So if you look at this chart, we talked about, last Friday, we talked about, will it bounce here? It did. Will it bounce exactly like this laid out? I didn't think it would, right? I mentioned that several times in the last couple of days. I don't expect this to play out exactly the same. It's just an idea, because there was squiggly lines up here and prices jumped straight down. Over here on October 11th, I was pointing out the bounce, right? The bounce. That one did bounce very, very similar. And then over here, like I said, is it going to bounce there similar to over here? And it has. So we'll see where it closes, because this doesn't show wicks. The blue doesn't show wicks. The wick came all the way down to 102 on Binance. This wick over here on the 17th came all the way down to 103.5-ish on the wick. And this doesn't show wicks either. So it could continue to push higher, close down lower, push higher, close down lower, right? And so we'll continue to watch that over here. But was wondering if it was going to bounce here. It did. Was wondering if it was going to bounce here. It has. So will it put in another lower high? That's what we're going to find out. So lower high confirmed with the lower low. Lower high confirmed with the lower low. So that's what we're continuing to watch over there. We were watching this over here, the head and shoulders. Never hit this price target as of yet. It is back above. If you look at it, I drawn this out originally on the 2-hour chart before it broke down. Here's the 4-hour chart, right? So it's possible this still plays out. It comes back down like that. So we'll see how it plays out. But it's possible it does something similar to that. And, that would be kind of more of a right shoulder anyways. And if you've been following me long enough, my thoughts on patterns playing out in the correct direction. So I don't put a ton of weight to it. But when there's multiple patterns lining up and there's multiple reasons why lower prices could be hit, and then you're stacking, head and shoulders, you're stacking the Wyckoff pattern and sell signals and all that, and the weekly bearish divergence and all that. It just, everything is more lined up to continuing to go down lower, right? So we'll see how it plays out. Expect bounces along the way. Over here, there is bounce. Over here, there's bounce so far. So expect bounces along the way. We'll continue to watch it on Bitcoin. Taught my daughter to do that. She's almost 16 months. She's almost 16 months old. And now she knows the whole sequence. We can cheers. She drinks her water cup. And then she goes, oh, I love it. So I taught her to do the like months ago. A long time. Seems like a long time ago. And then I taught her the sequence probably a month and a half ago, where we cheers, she drinks her little sippy water cup, and then goes, now we cheers her food when I want her to eat like chicken and stuff, all that. So, woo-wee. Sosa. Hey, thanks for always posting on Twitter X. Appreciate it. I think I'm following you. If not, I'll remember to follow you again. I'll try to remember to follow you. But yeah, thanks for always posting, commenting, all that stuff. Thank you. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Crap. Now I gotta go find you and make sure. Am I following you? I think I'm following you. If not, I'll make sure to follow you. Remind me. Just remind me. I'm getting old. Nice. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep, doing pretty good. Nanny's here watching the baby now. Wifey is out of town for work. So it's been daddy daycare at night for like 3 nights. And we have a good time. When her mom's not here, she's easy to watch. When her mom is here, she's more difficult to watch because she always wants her mom. Then I'm like 1B. If mom, I refuse to say I'm number 2, but mom's definitely 1A, and her mom, and but I'm definitely 1B. So I refuse to be number 2. I don't even like saying I'm 1A, but it's clear. And then if she starts getting restless while her mom's out of town, she'll like start like whimpering, mom. I'm like, no, I'm dad. I'm dad. And she's like, dad. I'm like, yeah, you better know my name. Yeah. Well, it took me a long time. It is amazing, by the way. It is amazing. My younger years, I had a different mindset, right? In my younger years, a lot of chasing going on back then. But yeah, I didn't have, my daughter wasn't born until I was 44. I didn't meet my wife until I was 36. And so I always said I'd only have a family if I found the right person. And I was okay being single. I'm very independent. I'm very good. So I thought. And everyone said, it's different. It changes things. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I love my nieces and nephews. 30 years. 30 years I love my nieces and nephews. I love my dog. It's different. And everyone says that. And you're like, well, okay, I get that. You're like, mentally you get that. But it's just weird. You don't get it. You just don't get it. Oh my gosh, 22. I was not even thinking about that. 22. Oh, I was a wild animal at 22. So those are some amazingly fun times for different reasons. But my daughter is so much more fulfilling. my wife, my daughter, the small family. So much more fulfilling. But 22 had much higher highs and much lower lows. Like it was like it's a wild. I was wild. But so family life is more like just like an upward trend, right? And it's more fulfilling. And obviously don't get it as wild and crazy, but wild and crazy. But man, every day she smiles and giggles, and you just like almost want to bring tears of joy like nearly every day. So yeah, completely different. 22, don't even worry about that right now. just do you, be independent, have a good time. You'll never be 22 ever again. You'll never be 22 ever again. That is for sure. Then you got 23, you got 24, 25. 25, I was all about, actually at 22, I kind of pivoted, and then 23 was like, from 23, 25, I was more about the business, like starting, real estate, mortgage, fix and flips, all that stuff. So yeah. Thoughts on BTC Gold? I don't know if I'll search for that today, but we can look at Bitcoin separately, which we have already done, and gold separately. But I don't know if I'm going to add the pairing on. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, you just go at it every day, right? The market will humble you. The market will humble you. So you just take your wins, take your losses, move on. Don't try to stay neutral. Kind of like family life, where it's neutral but on an upward slope, right? You don't want to be Jesse at 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, right? Where it's super high highs and then low lows. And it was super fun. But there's always a down period of when, and I'm not talking about like depression or anything like that. I'm just talking about you have to recover from like a super high, right? And then there's always like a little bit lower low, or not lower low, but a low, and then so now it's just like an upward trajectory. So your trading's got to be like that too. Got to stay neutral, upward slope, not get too high, and don't get too low. So it's practice, right? It's practice. So the more you do it, the more neutral you can be. But you gotta block the noise and stuff. Cool. Hopefully make some money. All right, let's get back to it. So Bitcoin daily, this is a 4-hour chart. We'll see how it plays out. It's bouncing right now. So daily chart, like you said, lower high, lower low. Ethereum, 3 out of 4 targets hit so far. Will the 4th target get hit? We don't know for sure. There's a few reasons why it could, but we don't know. There is bullish divergence down here showing the MACD could have a bullish crossover, but it's below the 0 line. So something to consider. It's more bearish when it's below the 0 line. I don't trade based off of MACD, but I do like it on the sharpshooter candles 3.1. And I even left it on the sharpshooter candle strategy 4.3. So I left it on there as well. So of course you can check it and uncheck it. Style, MACD, bearish crossover below the 0. I like I do leave the pending on, because when it's happening in real time, it will say, oh, pending MACD crossover. I'm like, oh, okay. Or pending below the 0 line. Just, like I said, it's not part of the strategy, but I do like to have it on there. So That's that. What else? What else? What else? I mean, pending buy signal on Bitcoin right now, right? Pending buy signal on Bitcoin right now on the daily chart. So will it be, if you're in a short, are you closing your short position? Are you, you always have to have a plan in place. So, but it is pending a buy signal back above the trading dots. We will see. What else? What else? SP 500 still has not made a new high yet. It's still possible it puts in a lower high. Any candle, like we talked about, any candle closed back above the 6,800 and it's making a new all-time high, right? Any wick back above 6,813 and the targets are invalidated, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. It is back above the trending dots as of right now. Will it stall out? That's what we're going to find out. Algo. Woo! Breakdown. Pump back up. Lower high, lower low. Back into the trending dots. Back into this wedge, right? Has not hit that target at 13 cents. Will it? We don't know. But price is back into the trending dots as of right now. Will it get rejected? Will it bounce back above? We'll see what happens. We'll be ready for it. XRP. If you were to draw a similar target, right? Let's just see. Conservative, right? Let's just do conservative. Maybe more than hit it, right? Hit it twice. But so anyway, still back below here, back below this upward trend. We'll see if it gets sold off or not. It's bouncing as of right now. It is back above the trending dots for now. Weekly chart, well below the trending dots on the weekly chart. So could just be taking time off the clock and letting the trending dots and the moving averages catch up on the weekly chart. So that's what we're watching right now. You can probably see that price coming back into the trending dots, which have flipped red now, right? Even the weekly chart, trending dots have flipped red. So pending buy even on the weekly, but it's below the trending dots. All things to consider. And like I said, it's early in the week. The day's not over. Even if it is, it could come back up. And then any close below 124.8 could still be a lower high, right? So lower high, lower low until proven otherwise. This could just be another lower high. What else? What else? XCN. Chainlink. Trending dots are way up here on the weekly chart. Wow. Some massive moves to the upside and downside. Yeah, so the indicator is sharpshooter candles 3.1. It's our own, and you're able to, for the meantime, you're able to go on and get like the 60 plus hours of recorded coaching and 2 indicators. So sharpshooter RSI 2.0 and then sharpshooter candles 3.1. But I think all that's going to go away, and we're just going to roll out sharpshooter candle strategy 4.3. Just want to make sure that all the bugs are there, but it's the same trending dots. You can just change the style on it. Just for my own purposes, I changed it to a line so that I can keep track of which one is on the strategy or the indicator. So I did turn it into a a strategy, and based off of what you do on the daily chart or the weekly chart or the 4-hour chart, all that stuff will determine that. So that's not rolled out on the website yet, but once it does, then probably you could be grandfathered in, but probably the 60 plus hours of recorded coaching and the 2 indicators, I don't think you'll have access to that. I don't have to check to see if I can automatically set up all the indicators and the strategy all on there. Then you could have access to all of them, but if not, it would just be the strategies that I'm rolling out. So I turned the sharpshooter RSI 2.0 into a strategy as well, added some more filters, added position management tools on there, all that stuff. So they're 100% fully automated. So just a matter of you finding a setting that works, right? A setting that works. So daily chart, 4-hour chart. So yeah. There we go. Good morning. Welcome back. Cool. All right, let's keep going. Let's just take a look at some more altcoins still below trailing dots. Cardano. Let's see the weekly chart, way below the trailing dots as of right now. Could just take time for the ship to get turned around, right? You can see that the trending dots were trending down for a while. What is that? Say multiple months, 3 or 4 months. And then once it closed back above and everything started moving in that direction. Same thing here. April to October, that was like 5 or 6 months. And then boom, off to the races. That's not what it looks like here, right? So if it were to if we were just to follow the trending dots before we got a bounce, let's see, there's that similar to over here. It's similar to over here, right? This is the way I kind of look at it. So Cardano on if the trending dots were to play out similarly over the last 2 nice pumps, it seems like it would take some time to play out. So you come in, right? However, the price action plays out, and then pumps, right? So that's how I see it. And who knows if we get that or not, but I'm just pointing it out of what it would look like. So it's the way I kind of see it. So we'll see how it plays out. So again, that's Cardano. Ondo, you can see the trending dots are down. Similar thoughts. H bar, trending dots, still in the downtrend, right? Yeah, I you're welcome. You got it. As a swing trader, okay. Right? It's not that important. I'm just, as a swing trader, it's not as important, but it's a piece of the puzzle. And was it ever a 4-year, or was it slightly more, slightly less. There's a lot of reasons why you could say it's a 4-year cycle. The people that are saying that, you just got to keep in mind that they didn't sell the last top. I don't know what they did in 2017, but I doubt they sold the top in 2017. I wasn't even trading Bitcoin back in 2017. So, but based off of swing trading, I closed out my 10x leverage long at 61,000 on Bitcoin in November 2021. I thought I was late to the party, and in hindsight, I was late per my standards. But the original goal was the top minus 10 to 13%, and at 61,000, it was right around 12%. And then I wanted to buy the bottom minus 5 to 8%, and I hit that goal, and so on and so on. So the people who are saying there's no more 4 cycle, it's a 5 cycle now, blah, blah, blah. They didn't sell the 20 and 21 top. They also were showing the M2 global fractal of Bitcoin hitting $220,000 by 3 months ago. Also, now they're doing the gold fractal weekly chart versus the daily chart, which makes no sense. And it's a completely different time period. So they're showing where Bitcoin was already bullish on the weekly chart since April 2020, and then gold corrected August 2020, and then they're showing the Bitcoin taking off August 2020, but it was already bullish. And it didn't have a sell signal on the weekly chart all the way till May 2021. And then there was a sell signal last week, October 2025. So, 4-year cycle, then they moved the goalpost to the M2 global fractal supply, 220,000 by 3 months ago. And then now it's the weekly gold fractal from 2020 versus the daily gold fractal today. Doesn't make sense. So I don't think that one's a good comparison, but so I would say that's what I think about what people say about the 4-year cycle. Good morning. NVO triple bullish divergence. Pick one. Which one do you want me to take a look at? NVO, is that stock? I'm assuming. Is that stock? Thanks for looking at VSN yesterday. It almost hit your first eyeball target. Funny, listen on each day. Tomorrow. Thank you. Okay, you got it. Yeah, we'll circle back. We're going to keep going, though. So, finish my thought on the altcoins. This is a downward trend. And the trending dots continued to trend down as well. So, similar thoughts to Cardano, QNT, right? Probably even move it back even further, right? So XLM, this is a weekly chart. Bitcoin, Binance, trending dots. What else? What? Solana. Let's look at the daily chart. So trending dots are higher, so could come up and bounce a little bit. Let's see. Bitcoin futures below the trending dot, still 115. So it looks different, right? Bitcoin futures is well below the trending dots, so it could be coming back up to retest that, and not as defined of a lower high. So the exchanges and futures are going to try to align as much as possible. So that lower high could be coming up into here, and then putting in a lower low after that. So that's interesting, right? So continue to keep an eye on it. This is a small gap, but it's on there. What else? Ethereum, small gap over here. This one got filled. Mana, fetch. Oof. Weekly trending dots. Oh man. Brutal if you're holding that. Sand. Oof. Oh, Trump. Oof. All right, what else? Gold. Let's take a look at gold. This is a weekly chart. Very wicky up here. It's getting very wicky. Is it going to at least retest the trending dots on gold? Possible, right? It's possible. Too early to say. It already retested the trending dots on the daily chart. So we'll continue to take a look at it. RSI pending sell signal on gold. So we could be seeing a retracement here. Gold hadn't made a 30% move in a very, very long time, right? So a retracement there could be underway, at least some profit taking at the very least. But if this was to turn into a correction short term, then you'd be looking at, this is probably very close to like target 1, maybe target 2. This is just the eyeball test. Maybe like target 4, right? I'd have to map it out. But eyeball test is probably looking like that. Silver leading the way? Looks like it, right? So this is probably like target 1, target 2, 3, 4, right? So that's silver going through the correction. The dollar is looking like, dollar's looking like this could be a higher low. We'll see if it comes back in, retest target 1. If so, flip this from resistance into support, start bouncing up, and then come up and hit target 2, right? It hasn't retested the 200-week moving average in a very long time. I wouldn't say very long. It hasn't retested since April. So what is that? 6 months? Could be a while, but eventually it comes back. So September 2024, that was 9 months, right? So if that was 9 months, what is that? That's probably close to like 9 months. I don't know, something like that, right? Boom, 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 right? So PayPal, Hive, turning out to way down there. Bitfarm, after it hit the 4th target, all the way back down in the trending dots. Marathon Digital, CLSK, Baritone, back to the trending dots. Weekly chart has not even hit longer term target 1 yet, but it could. We'll see if it trending dots kind of catch up and then moves forward after that. TLT continues to be bullish. We've talked about this, covered it nonstop, right? So continues to trend upward and possibly hit the 200-week moving average, which this one has not retested the 200-week moving average in forever, right? So February 2022 has not retested since February 2022. Crazy. So that's TLT. What else? Oh, MicroStrategy. Here's the weekly chart. Still looking at the Adam and Eve top, right? Top was in. Adam and Eve. Kind of letting trending us. You can kind of see where the trajectory of the trending dots. So maybe by the end, like heading into 2026, the trending dots are like down here, and then you just see a straight shot down at the 200-week moving average. So it's like maybe the trajectory is more like this, and then bounce, and then straight down, right? So it could take some time to play out. We'll see. It's a weekly chart. It doesn't happen overnight. Ooh, what else? SoFi, Coin, HODL. Let's get back on the cursor. Yeah, so even on like HODL and the ETFs, there's no like defined like lower high yet, unlike the Bitcoin on the exchanges. So the market bosses are going to want them to all look similar, right? You can't have the Bitcoin ETFs, you can't have the Bitcoin futures and the Bitcoin exchanges all look completely different. It's not going to look right for the casino. It's not going to look right for the casino. So, looking for that lower high, right? However high it goes, and then back down, right? So we will see. Boom. 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 There you go. Because there was the head and shoulders on the Bitcoin exchanges as well. So this would even give the ETFs and the Bitcoin futures a head and shoulders as well, right? So we'll see how it plays out. Anything else before we get into the chart requests? Amazon, QQ, dollar, Meta, NASDAQ, near all-time highs. So, all right, we'll continue watching all that. Let's jump into it. Let's circle back here. Let's see. We got, is that a ticker symbol? Just kidding. NVO. Here we go. NVO stock. I'm assuming it's this one. Is that right? Oh, you have me do a penny stock. Oh boy. Oh. All right, we're gonna treat this like an altcoin then. I mean, it pumped hard, right? It looks like it pumped hard, even from here to here. 70% on a penny stock. Woo-wee. Oh, okay. All right, that makes more sense. Yeah, that's why I need all the details, right? This one, got it. All right, that makes more sense. Ooh, someone must have had me. chart this back in 2024. That's a bear market since June 2024. Nice. Yeah, I mean, are you asking if the bottom is in? What's your plan? Are you in it? Are you holding from the top? I mean, what are you doing? Because it's still bearish on the daily chart, right? It's well below the 200-week moving average. Is the bottom in at $44? I don't know. There's a huge gap up here, is what I see. But it looks like a huge gap. Let me measure it out. 13%. That's a pretty big gap. It's gappy up here. Doesn't mean those gaps have to get filled. It doesn't mean that they will ever get filled. They do work great as targets. They do work great as targets, but when is a different question, right? When is a different question. So briefly, I can tell you this is most likely bearish divergence followed by a lower high and then right into the bear market. So let's see. I bet I'll look at RSI and I bet that's bearish divergence. And then this was the lower high. And that is the higher probability that it's going down, right? That is the higher probability. So very classic top drop, lower high, bigger drop, right? And then drop all the way down. Weekly chart had that last sell signal, September 2024. It's been down ever since. Oh, that's right. Triple bullish divergence weekly by around 48.50. Goal is 80 to clear the weekly. Okay. 80. Let's see. So caution is the weekly chart is still bearish as of right now. Let's see what you're talking about. Yeah, you got bullish divergence for sure. So you had bearish divergence at the top, right? Indicators even pointing that out. Bearish divergence. And you got bullish divergence at the bottom. It's just the MACD on the weekly chart is, still well below the zero line. No buy signals on the weekly chart as of yet. Still below the trending dots. So the positive is there's bullish divergence. Like you said, target 80, target the 200-week moving average, right? Is this the bottom? Is this going to be a higher low? It's too early to say, but it could be. It's too early to say, right? Let's look at the daily chart. You got a gap here too. Smaller gaps up here. So eyeball test on like a shorter term swing, you're probably already into like target 1, probably target 2. This probably be like target 3-ish, target 4-ish, right? So the eyeball test probably hit 2 out of the 4 targets so far. Just decide when, hey, the line, so you bought it at 48.50. If it's just stock, then you can hold it longer. But with the weekly chart the way it is, it could just take longer to play out, right? It could just take longer to play out. So it's more of like a time thing, and doesn't mean it couldn't come back down for a double bottom, right? It's possible it comes back down for a double bottom too. So just keep that in mind. You know, if this is kind of the weekly horizontal at 54, if that's kind of like your line in the sand, or you moved your stop loss up to break even, that would make sense, because having your stop loss to break even puts on a risk-free trade, right? Minus fees and all that. But right now, the trending dots are trending down, and that's kind of like your weekly. And don't forget, there's a gap down here too. I mean, there's gaps all over the place. I could just clone these all day long. It looks like some are bigger than others, but could be a double bottom. It's kind of guessing right now. The weekly chart is bearish. The daily chart is currently bearish. You got gap down there. Tiny, tiny gap there. That gap was filled, right? So just keeping all of that in mind. You know, if you bought the $48, $50 range, you know, even if it came all the way back down here, you know, you wouldn't be down that much, but you're unrealized gains right now. So just keep that in mind. Hopefully that helps. What's the 2-week chart showing? It just takes time for the ship to get turned around, right? 2-week chart still bearish. Trending dots are still trending down. Monthly chart still bearish. It could just take time, right, before you see a massive. Well, you're just saying to $80, so it could always be a monthly wick or something that bounces all the way to 80. But you're kind of guessing that the bottom is in. So just be aware of that, and maybe move your stop loss to break even, just so it's a risk-free trade. And, you know, take a swing. Feel free to take a swing. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. Obviously, it's for educational purposes only. Hopefully, have a little bit of fun along the way, making fun of me. VSN, again, a daily occurrence. Ooh, I don't. Oh, trading bot. Alert. Yeah, I mean, probably not going to chart it every day, and might as well just let it marinate and get a little bit more chart history. I don't think I kept it on my watch list. If it's on my watch list, I'll take a look at it. If it's not, then did I remove it? That one. Control. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. Yeah, maybe in the future. All good. Yep, all good. It's just there's not a lot of chart history, so there's not much really to talk about. But since we're here, and we still have like 6 more minutes. Try to keep it to under an hour. Yeah, I removed it. I think it was Kraken Euro. I think you had me look at. Oh my gosh, yeah. So no, it didn't hit target 1. Didn't hit the visual target 1. Not yet. So what else? Bum, 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 bum. Yep, that's about it. I think we covered everything. So any other questions? Anyone else? I don't see any other chart requests. So with that, I think we're going to call it here. Thanks again for smashing the like button, reposting, sharing with your family and friends, and throwing in the comments, the emojis, whatever you can do. Help me, help you, help me with algorithms. I appreciate it. And with that, we will see you tomorrow. Happy Taco Tuesday, and adios.